Every year, the small town of Lingerie transformed into a carnival of colors, laughter, and eccentricity for the annual Dance of Souls festival. On this particular Saturday morning, Lu Wei stood in front of his bathroom mirror, adjusting his collar with the precision of a surgeon, trying to appear presentable. However, his reflection told a different story: slightly disheveled hair, a hint of stubble that could either be seen as rugged or just plain lazy, and an expression that screamed, "Why am I here?" "Lu, you're going to love this," his friend Ming called from the kitchen, her enthusiasm spilling into the hallway like an overboiled pot of noodles. She was the embodiment of optimism, with an endless supply of cheerfulness that often grated on Lu's notoriously cynical nature. "Yeah, right," Lu muttered to himself. He had spent the past week hearing about the grand spectacle of the Dance of Souls. According to Ming, it was a magical event where souls briefly left their bodies to project their innermost feelings. Lu found the whole idea laughable, a bunch of grown-ups flailing around like they were in a toddler's playgroup. He forced a smile, glancing at the clock. "Coming," he shouted back, grabbing a pair of mismatched socks on his way out, because who was he kidding? If he was going to the festival, he might as well embrace his identity as the town's biggest skeptic. As he stepped outside, the vibrant decorations along the street practically assaulted his senses. Banners in shades of purple and blue fluttered in the wind, while paper lanterns adorned the trees, casting a whimsical glow. The scent of fried dough and sweet syrup wafted through the air, mingling with the sounds of laughter and chatter. Lu couldn't help but snicker at the sight of a man dressed as a giant lotus flower, waving enthusiastically to passers-by. "Ming," he called, spotting her in the crowd. She wore a garish pink outfit, which somehow managed to look festive instead of ridiculous. "What are you wearing? A flamingo exploded on you?" "It's called fashion, Lu," she shot back, playfully shoving him. "Now, come on. We're going to miss the opening ceremony." As they pushed through the throng of excited festival-goers, Lu's irritation simmered beneath the surface. All around him, people were grinning like children on Christmas morning. It was infuriating. Couldn't they see how absurd this whole thing was? The ceremony took place at the town square, a sprawling area dominated by a grand stage adorned with sparkling lights and colorful drapes. Lu reluctantly joined the crowd, his arms crossed and his brow furrowed. A local elder, Mr. Zhang, stood at the forefront, ready to kick off the festivities. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we celebrate the Dance of Souls, where we embrace our true selves and learn to heal our hearts through laughter and connection." Lu rolled his eyes. "Yeah, because nothing says healing like a group therapy session masquerading as a dance party." As Mr. Zhang continued his speech, Lu's thoughts drifted. Suddenly, a chorus of drums began to beat, and colorful dancers leaped onto the stage, twirling and spinning. Their joy was contagious, but Lu remained unmoved. Then, fate decided to intervene in a most ridiculous manner. Lu, lost in his thoughts, stumbled backward, tripping over his own feet like a newborn giraffe. In a comical twist of fate, he crashed into the edge of the stage, his arms flailing in a desperate attempt to regain balance. The audience gasped, and then laughter erupted, the sound echoing in the air like a joyful choir. Lu Wei, the office warrior, brought down the house. Ming called, half laughing, half concerned. Yeah, laugh it up." Lu shouted, trying to regain his composure while pretending to take a bow. He couldn't help but chuckle, albeit reluctantly. Maybe there was something slightly entertaining about this after all. As Lu clambered back onto the stage, he noticed a peculiar glow emanating from the magical altar at the center. It beckoned him, and in a moment of careless curiosity, he reached out to touch it. The moment his fingers brushed against the surface, an electric shock shot through him, sending a jolt of energy coursing through his veins. The world around him began to fade. Suddenly, Lou found himself in a whirlwind of color and light, his body left behind while his soul hovered in a strange, ethereal space. His soul projected outward, revealing a kaleidoscope of emotions. Shattered glass, stormy clouds, and flickering shadows danced around him. "What the hell is happening?" he yelled, though he wasn't sure if he could even speak in this otherworldly realm. Lou looked down at his own projections, horrified at what he saw. There was his fear of failure, a monstrous creature with jaws wide enough to swallow his hopes whole. Next to it floated a representation of loneliness, a tiny figure sitting on a swing, swaying gently in an empty playground. The scene tugged at his heart, and he felt a surge of sadness wash over him. "Welcome to your soul's dance, Lou," a voice said, warm and rich like honey. Lou turned to see an elderly man with twinkling eyes and a mischievous grin floating beside him. "I'm Grandmaster Chen. And it seems you've quite the tangled web of emotions." "Grandmaster, what now?" Lou stammered, still trying to process the bizarre situation. "I'm not a dancer. I'm just an office worker who tripped over his own feet." "Ah, but this is the essence of your being," Chen declared, gesturing to the swirling colors around them. "Embrace your fears, and you shall learn to dance with them." "What do you mean, dance with them?" Lou shot back, bewildered. "They're monsters." "Exactly. But every monster has a story. Let's unravel yours, shall we?" With a flick of his wrist, Chen sent Lou tumbling through a series of scenes from his life, a montage of moments he had long buried under layers of sarcasm and skepticism. He saw himself as a child, full of dreams and laughter, drawing pictures of the future he wanted. But then the scenes shifted to a teenage Lou, facing rejection, and a college Lou, overwhelmed by expectations. Each memory felt heavier than the last. "Why are you showing me this?" Lou asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "To help you understand," Chen replied, his tone gentle. "You've hidden these feelings away, afraid they might swallow you whole. But facing them is the first step towards healing." Lou watched helplessly as the storm clouds of his fears gathered. "I don't know how to face them," he admitted, feeling more vulnerable than he had ever felt in his life. "Let's start by dancing, shall we?" Chen said, extending his hand. "Trust me." Lou hesitated, but something in Chen's eyes urged him to take a leap of faith. He reached out, and as their hands connected, he felt a surge of warmth, as if he had stepped into sunlight after a long winter. Suddenly, they were caught in a swirling dance, twirling through the memories of Lou's life. Each step felt foreign yet exhilarating. The monstrous projections loomed around him, but now, instead of fearing them, Lou felt a strange urge to engage. As they spun, the storm clouds began to dissipate. The giant creature representing his fear of failure started to shrink, its menacing jaws transforming into something more benign, a playful dog, wagging its tail as if inviting Lou to play. "See? Embrace your fears," Chen encouraged, laughing as they danced. "They can become your allies." In that moment, something shifted within Lou. With every turn, he felt lighter, freer, as if the burdens he carried for so long were being lifted. "Maybe, just maybe, this isn't so silly after all," he thought, grinning as he let go of the cynicism that had defined him for so long. As Lou danced, his fears transformed with each step. The swirling chaos around him became a vibrant tapestry of emotions, shifting from dread to something resembling joy. He found himself laughing alongside the playful creature that had once represented his fear of failure. The lightness of the moment was intoxicating, and for the first time, he felt the possibility of acceptance. Keep moving, Lu. Grandmaster Chen urged, his voice echoing like a melody through the swirling colors. Feel the rhythm of your heart. Let the music of your soul guide you. Lu closed his eyes, letting the rhythm pulse through him. Memories danced like fireflies, his first art competition, the thrill of victory, the heartbreak of his first crush, the camaraderie of late nights spent studying with friends. Each recollection came with a color, each feeling infused with life. He twirled, caught in a whirlwind of nostalgia, laughter, and bittersweet recognition. Now, let's face the darkness together, Chen said, shifting their focus to the shadows lurking at the edges of Lu's consciousness. What about the loneliness you hide? The moments when you feel invisible? At the mention of loneliness, the atmosphere shifted. The playful creature faded, replaced by a small, shivering figure on a deserted playground swing. It was a younger Lu, lost and forgotten, the light in his eyes dimmed. The swing creaked in the silence, echoing the loneliness that had haunted him for years. Lu, this is the part of you that needs your attention, Chen said gently. You've ignored it for too long. You must learn to acknowledge this feeling without judgment. What do I do? Lu asked, a lump forming in his throat. Dance with him, Chen instructed. Show him he's not alone. Taking a deep breath, Lu stepped toward the figure. Hey, he called softly. I'm here. The younger Lu looked up, surprise flickering in his eyes. You're me? Yeah. And I know how lonely it feels, Lu replied, kneeling beside him. But you're not invisible. You're so much more than this. With a flick of Chen's hand, the swing glowed, brightening the space around them. Lu held out his hand. Let's dance together. You don't have to be alone anymore. Tentatively, the younger Lu reached out, and as their hands touched, the darkness began to lift. The shadows morphed into soft, twinkling lights, illuminating the playground with warmth and hope. They began to move, not just as individuals but as one, twirling and laughing, creating a new rhythm that echoed with the promise of companionship. Feel that? Lu said, glancing at the younger version of himself. We can hold on to this feeling, no matter how hard things get. As they danced, the loneliness dissipated, replaced by a sense of belonging that Lu had yearned for. The playground transformed into a vibrant dance floor, filled with friends and laughter, their faces illuminated by the glow of acceptance. Now, let's bring forth your joy, Chen declared, swirling Lu around again, drawing his focus to yet another hidden aspect of his soul. What about the dreams you've shelved away? Lu's heart sank a little. He had pushed aside his artistic ambitions for years, convinced that practicality outweighed passion. Yet, as they spun, images began to surface, canvases filled with bold colors, brushes dipped in the vibrant hues of his imagination, the sound of applause echoing after a gallery opening. Those dreams still live within you, Chen said, sensing Lu's hesitation. You must give them space to breathe. What if I fail? Lu asked, anxiety creeping back into his voice. Failure is a part of the journey. You cannot dance without falling sometimes. The beauty lies in getting back up, Chen reassured him. With newfound resolve, Lu began to project the essence of his artistic dreams, a swirling canvas of colors and shapes that reflected his innermost desires. The vibrant art took form around him, and he found himself dancing with images of his past creations, each stroke of color reminding him of the joy that art had once brought him. See? Let your passion flow. Chen encouraged, and Lu twirled amidst the colors, laughter bubbling up from deep within. The canvas expanded, creating a space where his dreams could flourish once again. Okay, I'm ready, Lu said, beaming with determination. I want to share my art with the world. The air around them sparkled as the different aspects of Lu's soul began to merge into a harmonious whole. The fearful creature became a loyal companion, the lonely child turned into a source of inspiration, and his dreams, now vivid and alive, filled the void with a dazzling display of color and light. "Now, Lu," Chen said, "let's invite the audience to witness your transformation." With a flourish, Chen waved his arms, and the scene around them shifted back to the festival stage. Lu found himself standing in front of a captivated audience, his heart racing. The colors of his projection swirled around him, illuminating the stage in an ethereal glow. "Welcome back to the Dance of Souls," Lu shouted, the exhilaration coursing through him. The audience erupted in cheers, their faces radiant with joy. "What do I do now?" Lu whispered, uncertainty creeping back in. "Let your heart guide you," Chen encouraged, stepping back. "This is your moment." Taking a deep breath, Lu began to dance, the colors swirling around him like a living canvas. He moved with abandon, embracing every emotion that had come to life within him. The audience watched in awe as he expressed his journey through movement, his fears, his loneliness, his dreams, all woven together in a mesmerizing tapestry of dance. As Lu danced, he felt a wave of connection wash over him. He was no longer the isolated man behind a desk, he was a vibrant part of a community, sharing his story through art and movement. Each step was a declaration of his willingness to embrace life, complete with its ups and downs. Suddenly, a familiar figure emerged from the crowd, Ming, eyes wide with amazement. "Lu, I knew you had it in you." With a grin, Lu gestured for her to join him. "Come dance with me." Ming hopped onto the stage, and together they moved in sync, laughter filling the air. Their connection, once strained by Lu's cynicism, blossomed into something beautiful. As they danced, more friends joined in, creating a circle of support that surrounded Lu, their joy amplifying the magic of the moment. The atmosphere shifted again, and a powerful sense of community enveloped them. The festival had transformed from a mere celebration of individual souls to a collective expression of connection and healing. As the performance reached its climax, Lu found himself at the center, surrounded by friends and festival-goers, all of whom were dancing their own stories. He felt invincible, and in that instant, he realized he had discovered not just a deeper understanding of himself, but also a profound appreciation for the relationships that filled his life. "Thank you for guiding me, Grandmaster," Lu called out, spotting Chen watching from the edge of the stage, a proud smile on his face. "Remember, Lu," Chen replied, "the dance never truly ends. It evolves, just as you do. Embrace every step along the way." With a final flourish, Lu and his friends finished their dance, breathless and beaming with joy. The crowd erupted into applause, the sound a warm embrace that enveloped Lu. He stood there, heart full, finally at peace with the man he was and the man he was becoming. As the festivities continued around him, Lu felt a sense of hope and renewal. He was ready to embrace life, to pursue his passions, and to connect with those around him. The Dance of Souls had shown him that healing could be found not just within but also in the laughter and love shared with others. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over Linghua, Lu knew that his journey was just beginning. The end.